So this is a practice for people who experience POTS. So this practice is going to have a bit more focus on being low impact. It's going to be seated or laying down. And it's going to be about promoting blood flow and reducing dizziness. So they're going to be quite slow transitions. But at the same time, I'm going to bring that awareness into the body of different sensations and mobilizing as well. So let's get started. Just finding a comfortable sitting position. We're just going to run through a little breath practice here to start with. Just settling the mind and landing here in the practice before we start moving. So just starting to close down the eyes, or you can have a soft gaze. And just starting to scan the body, the head, all the way down to the toes. Just noticing any points of tension and seeing if you can actively relax those areas. So common areas being the neck or the shoulders, pelvic floor, the jaw. And as you breathe here, a sense of breathing into these spaces, allowing the body to relax. As you start to breathe a little bit deeper here, seeing if you can inflate the belly and the chest. You might even place your hands to the outside edges of the rib cage, so just below the armpits. And just feeling the ribs expanding. If you don't want to place your hands on your body, just feeling that sense of expansion in the rib cage. As you take some deeper breaths here. I'm just going to settle in here with the breath count. Inhale for 5, exhaling for 5. So we'll start by exhaling out of the mouth and then inhaling through the nose for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. And exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just breathing in for 5. Exhaling for 5. in through the nose. Exhale out of the mouth. Keep flowing through that. If you feel like you need a bit more calm, you've been quite overactive in the day, mind's really busy, perhaps some really intense emotions, nostril breathing is really good at the moment. If you feel like you're being a little bit more sluggish and flat, try breathing in through the mouth. So keep cycling through that. Just counting in for 5 and out for 5. Do 5 more rounds here. I'll guide you through the last few. Inhaling for 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhaling 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one, inhaling, exhaling. Okay, let's start to move into our movement segment. So just coming into a child's pose here, but it's going to be a variation of child's pose. So we're going to keep the head up off the mat, and we're going to lean onto the forearms. And if the hips don't come back onto the feet, you can either pop a pillow or a bolster on top of the heels, or you can tuck the toes and make this more a puppy pose variation. So you would lengthen your arms out a little bit more. And you feel this opening the shoulder blades, upper back. You can place the fingertips down. And the gaze is between the hands. Smooth breathing here. Just a couple more breaths. And then starting to walk the hands in towards the knees. Going to come up into a kneeling position. Going to clasp the hands behind the back and roll the shoulders open, puffing the chest out, opening up the front body now. Taking a few more breaths here. Releasing that one. Hands to the back of the head. Elbows out to the side. And we're just going to puff open the chest. Gaze still in front. And then we're going to close in now. Elbows in, gaze comes down. Really slow transition here as you come back up. Inhale, open the elbows out to the side. And moving with breath, exhaling as you close in. as you start to breathe in, opening again. Exhale, closing in. Just a couple more. Really good. And then releasing that one. Let's start to mobilize the spine a little more. So placing the left hand down, right arm overhead. So lengthening side ribs. And reaching up before starting to reach over. Gaze out in front. Breathing here. Lowering that right arm down, left arm overhead, right hand on the mat. If you'd like to take this further, you can lower down the elbow a little more if you really like that side bend. And lowering down. Come back into that hands behind the head posture we had before. And then I'm just going to tilt head to the left, back to center, tilt the head to the right. Just a slight rotation of the torso. Sorry, we're actually turning our head, not tilting. We're going to tilt the head soon. So just rotating the torso. And as you turn here, how far can your eye gaze go to the left and to the right? So trying to look as far back behind you as you can. Last one here. One more on each side. Really good. And relaxing. So spine is upright here. As we place the left hand behind us now, I'm going to look over the left shoulder. Breathing here. Coming back to center, right hand down, gaze over that right shoulder. Long spine here. That opposite hand can just come on top of the knee, thigh. Really good. And then coming back. Just breaking it up with a neck movement. So this is where we're going to tilt the neck down. So we're bringing our left hand just onto the right ear. Gaze come down. Breathing. You might stay in stillness or just move really slowly, gently here. Might close down the eyes. And coming back up. Right hand to left ear. Starting to tilt the head to the right. And notice what's happened with the jaw. Just relaxing that. Releasing the tongue from top of the mouth. And reducing any excessive grip on the head. Coming back up. And just feeling sensation. We're going to take a cat-cow now. So tabletop position, toes are tucked here, and my hands are, fingertips are splayed out on the mat. And starting to dip the belly, gaze comes up. And doming the belly, gaze comes down, so moving super slow here. Just a couple more. So yes, while we are moving our head, gazing up and gazing down, if you do notice it's too much, just fixing your gaze on one point in the distance and just moving your spine. See if you can get the neck involved as well, looking up and really slowly lowering, really slowly coming up and coming down. Alright, so coming out of cat-cow now. We're going to move into a side angle now. So, going to have the shin planted on the mat. So we'll start with the right shin on the mat, left leg extended out. My right hand is on the mat. I'm going to start to bring the arm up overhead. So this is a modified side plank. Feeling the opening in the front body, the back body. the right leg working really hard to stabilize here. Feeling groin, glutes switching on, core. Couple more breaths. Lowering that arm down. I'm going to walk over to this extended leg. I'm going to kickstand that right shin back so it's neutral with the length of the mat. And keeping this left sole of the foot planted down, we're just going to come into a hamstring stretch here. Can bend the knee, have a bit of a micro bend, just depending on opening in the hamstrings. And this all depends on what kinds of activities you're doing as well. Some, depending on the activity you're doing, like some runners, they have tighter hamstrings, like needing that for running. Some people naturally having flexible hamstrings. I'm going to start to lift the ball of the foot off the mat. And just notice even a subtle change here. So the sensation out of the ankle now, and seeing if you can keep your hips as square as possible. So just notice if the hips are falling out to the left side. Just try and bring the hips back to neutral. It's going to increase the sensation in the hamstring. Always bending the knee as much as you need. I'm going to plant the foot down now. Hands onto the knee. Coming into an upright position now. It's really slow. And starting to hinge forward and back. So just activating hip flexor here. And then bring the hands down, however you get there. We're just moving this left leg back to join the right. Shuffling up the mat. Now our right leg's going to extend. The left shin is on the mat. Left hand planted down. It's a modified side plank. Gaze out in front of you. Breathing here. Seeing if you can open the shoulder even more. Might place the hand behind the head, but just notice any neck strain. without pushing or forcing anything. You might also come onto the fingertips, the bottom hand. And getting ready to move. So just walking the hands around to the extended leg. The back shin is now in line with the mat. Starting to extend the right leg now. Fingertips are planted here. So whole sole of the foot on the mat. Bend in the knee as much as you need. Feeling sensation in the ankle. Definitely sensation, or some sensation in the hamstring. If you're not feeling sensation in the hamstring now, start to walk the hands forward even more. Here we're keeping a flat back as well, so just notice if you're hinging over. That's fine as well. Just for this practice, trying to keep the trying to keep an open chest here, just for the breath flow at the moment. And also just reducing any sort of head movements we don't need to do in a pose. And just starting to flex the toes back. Noticing if the hips have moved to the left. Just bringing the hips back into a neutral position. And breathing here. Planting the foot down, climbing the hands onto the knee. We're in a bit of a lunge here. So just kind of flossing back and forward now. Welcome to add in any hand variations. Hands to opposite elbows, just for a chest opener. Clasping the hands behind you. Prayer hands behind the back. And lowering the hands down. Coming into a seat now. We're just going to start to lower the body down now onto the mat. We're going to take a bridge pose. So feet planted down, about hip width distance. Starting to peel the lower, mid, upper back, palms down beside you. Breathing here. Feel the glutes switching on. and avoiding that overarching, so just coming to a level that doesn't mean that you're overextending that lower back. Then you start to switch on the glutes and quads a little bit more. Also protecting our back here. Lowering down now. We're going to come up again. Challenge here. You might extend one leg up. You're going to take a little pulse here, pulsing sensation. So pushing into either both feet or left foot planted on the ground. Lowering down now. And lower down, take a rest. So whole back body on the mats. So coming up again, both feet on the mat, or planting the right foot, left leg coming up now. Pulsing sensation. So if you're doing one-legged, so weight into the heel. Just sort of pulsing, really mini pulses here. Couple more. Slow. And dropping whole back body down. Just shifting the legs from side to side, kind of like a windscreen wiper motion. Bringing the knees in towards the chest, massaging the lower back. And we're going to roll over onto our belly now. So just taking it slow. And we're going to bring the hands down beside the ribcage. I'm going to do some baby cobras here. So just peeling front chest off the mat. So feet are together, legs together. It's just the back working here. Holding here, strong back. Weight out of the hands, elbows back. Lowering head down, one cheek on the mat. Have a couple of breaths here. Getting ready to move again. Starting to peel front chest off the mat. Elbows in beside the body. Strong back. Really good. And lowering down, resting other cheek on the mat. Hands beside you. Getting ready to move. We're going to come up again. So this time we're going to make a Y shape with our arms. We're going to bring our arms out in front and wide edge of the mat. So strong back again. We're seeing how high we can peel that front chest off the mat. Feeling the neck strengthening here. Lowering back down, resting cheek on the mat. Let me see if you can either taking the foot from knee out to the side and starting to peel the foot back. Or alternatively, that leg will be back behind you. And then starting to peel the chest off the mat, pushing the foot into the hand. Coming back down. Other side. Knee out to the side, holding the top of the foot. Or foot out behind you, starting to peel the chest off the mat. Lowering back down. Sphinx pose. Forearms on the mat. And we're just having our gaze in front of us. Palms down about hip width distance. A few more rounds of breath. Lowering down. Let's take a child's pose variation. So back to the start. The elbows down, toes tucked, or hips back to heels. Gaze towards the hands. Walking the hands back in towards knees. You're going to tuck the toes and come into a bit of a squat here. The palms together. And we're getting into the calves now. So we're just trying to shift the body weight back and lowering the heels. And then as we shift forward and up, we come more onto the toes. So shifting body weight back, heels come down. Hands out in front. Heels up. Heels down. If that's too much, you can also use a block or you might also have some pillows. Sitting on block on high setting or a lower setting. So this pose, yeah, obviously not getting into the calves as much, but more so about opening the hips, groins. Now, coming back into that squat wherever you were, we're going to bring the feet a little bit closer together. And then we're going to start to crawl the hands forward and crawl the hands back. Hands forward and hands back. So a bit of a foot stretch. And lowering the buttocks to the mat, stretching the legs out. Dandasana, so hands beside the hips here, long spine. Might have a bit of a bend in the knees. Breathing here. And then just starting to lower yourself onto the mat. Taking a rest here, Shavasana. Nothing to do. Taking up space, arms and legs extended. Closing down the eyes. And just acknowledging all the work that you did there. So we open the front body and the back body. Activated the glutes, the core. Switched on the legs, the quads, calves, groins, the feet. Doing something good for your body. Slow and restorative. Maybe with a little challenge. And just for a minute or so here, just soaking it all up. Totally rest. Being held by the mat. I'll let you know when it's time to come back in. Just starting to come back into the environment, sound and body. I'm actually going to transition before coming up. Let's take a little happy baby pose here. So hands are outside of the feet, the knees are bent in towards the underarms. That's too much, hands to the shins. Smooth and slow here. You might rock from side to side. And then lowering the feet down. And just as you're ready, coming up into a seating position. I hope you got something out of the practice. Thank you.